Let's see. Okay. Oh, wow.
Oh, color.
Those are right up, ready to go. YouTube, what up, what up? We are back. It's a Feel Good Friday. I feel good, but also tired. So, what we're going to touch on real quick is John Deere Classic. The other day, sent out a tweet, threw some top 20s out there and sprinkled a winner. Took top 20, took Maverick McNeely in top 20. He shot 4 under yesterday, so that's looking pretty decent. JT Poston, top 20. He shot 5 under. Lucas Glover and Seamus Power, I took both of them. They both shot 7 under yesterday. Mark Hubbard, took him top 20. He pulled a pretty good round out of his ass yesterday because he was 3 over at one point, but he ended up shooting 3 under. And Grayson Sig only shot 1 under. And I've also sprinkled Mark Hubbard to win the tournament.
He's got some work to do.
We got a lot of work to do. It was a good first day, but that doesn't mean anything. So, we've had plenty of
He
good
might go out
first
and shoot
days.
59 today. So
Yeah, we've had plenty of good first days, and then it's never panned
it
out.
all falls
So,
out.
yeah. Now, you brought up something the other day that
Yes.
piqued my interest
Yes.
of filling out the 12-team college football playoff bracket.
Yes.
So since it was your idea,
You want me to go first?
I'm going to let you go first.
All right. So what we're doing is we're just saying our 1 through 12 seed. We're not actually filling out the whole brackets, but I guess these are officially our way too early college football playoff predictions.
Sounds perfect.
So I'll say my 12, then you say your 12.
Sure.
And then you can say your 11, then I'll say my 11, and then just keep going in that order or whatever.
Do you want to go that way, or do you want to go 1 to 12? I feel like there's more. I don't know. I feel like there's more surprise in the later seeds, technically, than the top 4.
We can do that. That's fine.
I feel like the top 4 would be a little bit
That's fine.
not very surprising, but I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It depends on who you got, but
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll see.
We can go. Yeah, we'll start at 1. We'll start at 1 then.
Okay, let's do it.
Just make it a little more interesting.
Make it
at the
interesting.
end.
Yeah, make it interesting.
My 1 seed, I'm assuming, is your 1 seed, The Ohio State University. I think they're going to be a 12-0 team. They could be the best team of this generation, maybe in the 2020s. Their only struggle on their schedule could be Oregon, just because they got an electric offense. But if it all goes as everyone says it's going to go, they're going to be the number 1 seed at the end of the season.
I concur.
Concur.
I don't know if they're going to go 12-0. I don't know if any team this year is going to go undefeated, but Ohio State's got the damn best shot. So why not? I do concur.
So we both have The Ohio State University at the 1 seed.
Correct.
Okay. All right. This is probably where it all falls apart.
Oh boy.
Number 2, the University of Ole Miss. I also personally think they're going to go 12-0. They got the best transfer portal in the country, second best quarterback in the country, in my opinion. Jackson Dart's he's going to be throwing the ball everywhere this year. They do have to face Georgia this year, which can be a problem, but I see it ending up in a shootout just because Georgia lost a lot of their defense last year and they're bringing in a lot of freshmen. But I feel like they're going to pull it off because it's a home game. And the only downside I see to their football team is they got a lot of hype going on, just like Missouri does. So I just feel like the hype surrounding them, it might pull them down in the end, but we'll see. So I got Ole Miss at the 2.
Okay. I like where your mind's at, but this
Okay.
is the first disagreement that we're gonna have.
That's fine. It's gonna happen.
My number 2 seed is still gonna be the Georgia Bulldogs
Okay.
because until somebody proves to me that they are better than Georgia, it's Georgia.
Yeah.
I love Ole Miss, don't get me wrong. I still like Alabama. I love other teams in the SEC. I mean, I think the SEC is gonna be really fun this year. I think with Georgia's schedule, it's kind of the hardest schedule they've had in quite some time. So there's
It
a lot
is.
of road tests for them. Um, yeah, I mean, I don't mind Ole Miss being the number 2 seed. I actually kind of like it, but until it's proven to me that they can, like, if they beat Georgia, then I'll be like, okay, like they're legit. But Georgia's got technically the best quarterback in the country, with Carson Beck, and Kirby Smart as a X's and O's coach is a little bit better than Lane Kiffin, in my opinion. I like Lane Kiffin, but when it comes down to it, it's like Georgia is what Bama used to be. Like Bama can go on the road, get a win anytime, any place, doesn't matter where it is. So if Georgia goes in there and wins, then you know sitting pretty. If Georgia goes in there and loses, then your Ole Miss might be the 2 seed. I don't know. It's going to be an interesting year.
We'll see.
I'm excited.
We will see.
So who's your 3 seed?
My 3 seed is the University of Florida State.
Florida
As
State University. But
as
yes.
Dylan has been reminding me, is that the top 4 teams are the conference winners. So Florida State is going to win the ACC conference. They've done a good job recruiting. DJ Uyunga Ukulele sucks balls, but
Uiagalelei?
yeah, that
Yes,
dude,
DJ
whatever.
Ukulele. Jesus
He sucks, but at least one ACC team has to get in, so nobody's feelings get hurt. And I think FSU is going to be the team that wins the conference just because of how soft it is. So Florida State at the 3.
Okay. I don't mind it.
Come on.
I like your thought process.
Okay.
My 3 seed is probably the most controversial thing that we're going to talk about today.
Uh-oh.
I think the Oklahoma State Cowboys are going to win the Big 12 and be the 3 seed. I don't know why. I think that, and basically you got their schedule pulled up right there. Their toughest game on the road is at Kansas State. You can win a road game at Kansas State. They get Utah at home. They get Arkansas at home early when Arkansas hasn't hit the ground yet and figured out how they're going to respond after losing KJ Jefferson. They get West Virginia at home. Yeah, they got to travel to BYU and Baylor, but BYU and Baylor are not that good. They're decent. It's scary, but they're not like a Utah or a Kansas State or a Texas Tech or UCF or any of that shit. Like BYU and Baylor are winnable road games, and TCU is a winnable road game. So technically, I honestly think they're going to go like 10-2 if everybody stays healthy and they figure out what the fuck's going on with Ollie Gordon, because I don't know what happened there, but
He'll be back.
I think he'll be fine.
They,
So
they always find a way to put people
I
in.
think they're going to go 10-2 and win the conference championship. So I guess 11-2 then. Um, I think that's on the table. I know it's a strong ask because everybody keeps saying, everybody keeps shoving Utah and Kansas State down my throat, and I don't like it. I don't want to depend on Cam Rising to stay upright, and I don't want to depend on a new quarterback that I haven't really seen that much to win me a conference and get me a top 4 seed in the college football playoff. I've seen Alan Bowman play. I know Mike Gundy. That schedule is winnable. Ollie Gordon's a beast, and they've recruited and hit the transfer portal just fine. They return a lot on offense and defense. I think they're going to be very good. I think they might be the most underrated team in the country, and I think they're going to be very, very good.
I'm there with you. Only thing I had different was just the seeding. I got them to win the Big 12 as well.
Okay.
Their only threat throughout the year is Utah. That's probably going to be the conference championship is Oklahoma State, Utah. Um, I don't know how
If
to
Cam Rising's healthy.
if Cam Rising is healthy. Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
Um, Hold on, I'm pulling up my notes. Yeah, Utah is really their only threat. They got a Heisman level running back as long as they can get him on the field. But he needs to start drinking. Um, they have they have 19 returning starters from last year between offense and defense. We saw last year that they kind of struggled against shitty teams. Like they got railroaded by South Alabama. I think they lost like 33-7 or something like that.
Yeah.
But they played higher quality football against higher quality teams. And as long as they do that against, teams like Utah, and then I'd probably throw Arkansas out there just because it's an SEC school. And then maybe Texas Tech near the end of the year, TCU. As long as they do what they need to do against the better teams, I think that, like you said, they'll end up, 10-2 or maybe 9-3, 11-1, something somewhere around there. But I got them at the 4.
Okay. Well, spoiler alert, I have your 3 seed as my 4 seed. I think Florida State's going to win the ACC. There's a little bit of a chip on their shoulder for what happened to them last year. I don't think anybody's really talking about that. And Mike Norvell, he's a good football coach, but don't tell him I said this. He's probably a massive dick. Um,
It's
I
got the
think
look.
he's got that look where he's like, if he was at the bar, you'd be like, yeah, that guy's a prick. Like you just and usually that makes good football coaches. So I'm not downing him for that. Like Nick Saban looks like a prick too. And honestly, he kinda acts like one on the football field, but he's probably a really nice guy. So I don't hate it. I think to be a football coach, you kind of have to be a little bit of a prick. So I think he's still holding resentment for what happened to them last year. My issue with Florida State is that I don't think the ACC is as good this year. I think the Big 12 as a conference is better than the ACC. I just don't know if the ACC is going to get like that extra voting that maybe they're going to feel bad about last year, and then they're going to put Florida State as the 3 seed instead of the 4 or whatever. But my biggest thing for putting them at the 4 seed is I don't trust DJ. I like him. Seems like a good kid, but the guy can't find his footing anywhere. And it's just like if you're gonna go to Florida State, what's their schedule again? Because I think they get Clemson at home.
Yeah, I got Clemson at home.
They get Clemson at home. They go to Miami. They go to Notre Dame, and they play Florida at home. That's technically their 4 toughest games.
Yeah,
I think they could lose 2 of them as well, and then win the conference championship. So
yeah,
I think they could probably lose to Notre Dame on the road. If Clemson comes into town and beats them and gets revenge on what happened to them last year, and then they lose to Miami and Notre Dame, then they're 9-3 going to the conference championship, and then I got no problem with them being the 4 seed.
yeah.
Um, I don't know. I don't trust DJ. I never will again because I'm pretty sure I took them against Georgia Tech probably 3 years ago when he was the quarterback, minus, I don't know, 31.5, and they didn't cover. And I hated him ever since. And every game I took him on the spread, he fucked me. So I don't trust him. I think they're going to be a good team. I think they're still going to win football games. I just don't trust him as a quarterback.
Just don't have that same leadership as last year.
Yeah, I don't trust him. Jordan Travis, in my opinion, is leaps and bounds ahead of him
Yeah,
and leaps and bounds better than him. And no, it's not just because he got drafted by the Jets. I'm just saying he was very good. It's a damn shame that he got hurt by Holy Cross because I think that if Florida State would have made it last year, it would have made it very interesting. But I think they got a chip on their shoulder. They're on a mission, and they're going to try and get in it this year. So I think I think they're going to get in it regardless of whether they win the conference or not. However, I think they're going to win the conference. Who's
I'm
your
there.
five?
Yeah. My 5, I have the University of Texas. When it comes to regular season schedule, I think they're going to go undefeated. They might lose to Ole Miss in the SEC championship.
Okay.
I think they got one of the top offenses in the country as long as they can get through Michigan. They'll be here. They'll be in the playoffs even if they lose to Georgia, just because of how good Georgia is as a team. Quinn Ewers is coming back for a senior year, and I feel like they can kind of use what Saban did with Bama and having Hurts and Tua. Is that if Ewers ain't working out, you just throw Arch Manning in there and see what he can do. And because I think Arch Manning's a talented QB, and he'd be able to take over the role just as easy as anybody else.
I tell you what, they better hope Arch Manning is as good as they're saying he is.
Yeah, they better.
Because my God, are they riding his dick?
They are. Everybody's saying, why isn't Arch starting? Well, because you got Quinn Ewers.
Yeah.
Let him work. He's been.
Oh, if Quinn Ewers is bad, they'll just put Arch Manning in. It's like, oh, so we're just saying that Arch Manning is as good as Quinn Ewers right off the rip? That's what we're doing?
I guess. He
sure.
played what, one game last year maybe, which he did fine in.
I don't think Arch played last year. They played that
He didn't start.
Murphy, Malik Murphy or whatever played.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got any snaps, but he better be as good as they're saying he's going to be. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, but anyway,
Right
I got Texas at the 5.
Okay. My 5 seed's the Oregon Ducks.
Okay.
I think they probably lose one game. And it's against Ohio State. However, I think even if they beat Ohio State, they could lose another game on the road at like Michigan. I think they play Michigan on the road, which should be a tough game. There's not much I don't like about Oregon. I like the coach. They got Dylan Gabriel transferred in. I've always liked him, even though he fucks me every year. I like Dylan Gabriel. I like the way they recruited. They hit the transfer portal well. They've returned a decent amount of their roster. Their tough games are Ohio State at home, Michigan on the road. I don't think at Wisconsin is going to be as tough as everybody thinks. They could beat Ohio State and then lose to Michigan, and then we could get the rematch of the conference championship in Ohio State and Oregon, and we'll see how it goes. I think Ohio State would win the rematch on a neutral field, most likely. So I think Ohio State going, technically would be 11-1, and then beating them would be 12-1. They would go 11-2. I think they would probably at that point be the strongest 11-2 team in the country. So plus beating Ohio State, who technically would be the 1 seed, and then barely losing to them in the conference championship, I think they're going to get the highest seed out of that. And everybody loves the Big Ten, so I think that's what's going to happen. Your 6 seed.
My 6 seed is the team you just stated, the Oregon Ducks.
Yeah. Yep.
They had the best recruiting year from the season. I believe, what was it? They were second in transfer recruiting, and then just straight off regular recruiting, they were third. So, like I said, they got the best recruiting class in the country pretty much all around. They're bringing back 69% of their team from last year. Nice number. Which they finished 12-2, and they're bringing in, like you said, Dylan Gabriel, who, in my opinion, is one of the top candidates for the Heisman this year. Their only downside is Ohio State is on the schedule, so that's why I feel like they're not going to finish as the conference winners, is because Ohio State's in their way, but they'll still end up with a high seed. Yeah. So Oregon's at my 6.
I agree.
Yes, sir.
We're tiptoeing on dangerous territory with where you're going, and I already know I'm in dangerous territory, so I'm gonna just let it go. Number 6, I have your 2 seed, Ole Miss.
Ole Miss, yeah.
Yeah, I like Ole Miss a lot. I think they will definitely be the second best team in the SEC, if not the first. I wouldn't be shocked if they were better than Georgia. I just until somebody proves it to me, I will not believe it. I mean, I've been riding Alabama for years, and until Georgia got Kirby Smart and got their feet under them, it wasn't really even a contest. Um, I love Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss is going to be great. They're going to be one of the more fun teams to watch. I also love their powder blue jerseys. Those things are just sweet. So I would love to see those in a college football playoff game. That would be freaking awesome. And what's cool about these, I think, is that these games that we're talking about right now with the 5, the 6, the 7, and the 8, they're all campus home games,
Yeah, that's sick.
which is sick.
Yeah.
So, like Ole Miss is going to get a home game in the playoffs against whoever you think the 11 seed is, or whoever I think the 11 seed is, because you got them as the 2 seed, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, I just think that's sweet. So I think Ole Miss is the 6th seed. I think they'll be the second best SEC team, but they will not be the last SEC team on my bracket. I'll leave it at that.
Me neither.
Okay. You're
The
7 seed.
my 7 seed
I feel like you're
is
gonna forget about the big glaring one that I'm gonna say is
no,
the
no,
7th
no,
seed.
no. Oh well, maybe the University of Georgia is my 7 seed.
Okay.
Um, I think they're going to lose 2 games this year.
Really?
Texas and Ole Miss. They're going to lose both games against Texas and Ole Miss. That's why I have both of them higher
They
than
play
Georgia.
Texas on the road, right? And Ole Miss
Uh,
on the road.
yeah, I think Ole Miss is.
Ole Miss is in the SIP, is it not? Yeah,
They go at Texas at Ole Miss. Yeah, so I think they're going to lose both of those games.
and at Alabama.
Yeah, they have a hell of a year. I'm not going to lie. This is like the toughest schedule that I've seen
I
them
told you
have.
they have a tough schedule, but
They're going to get
until somebody proves it to me, I'm not gonna doubt them.
all right. Yeah. Yeah, Georgia at the 7 seed. I think they're going to lose to Texas and Ole Miss, like I just said. Um, Also, one of the best quarterbacks in the country with Carson Beck. They have the best recruiting class, not the transfer class, but just recruiting. I feel like the defense is just going to be unable to perform at the same level they did last year. They're bringing in a lot of freshmen and they lost a lot of guys. Um, and yeah, just the 2 games they're going to lose are against the 2 best SEC teams. So
I
I,
love I love
the,
how you're already throwing Texas as one of the top SEC teams. I love it. I love
but
it.
I guess the best thing for Ole Miss is that they don't have to play Georgia and Texas, but Texas has to play Ole Miss and Georgia has to play Ole Miss and Texas. But Ole Miss doesn't have to play. Wait, that makes no fucking
I was
sense.
about to say Ole Miss has to play Texas at that point then.
Yeah, sorry. Ole Miss doesn't have to play Texas.
Yeah.
That's the best case
Georgia
for
has to play
yeah,
Texas and Ole Miss, and
yeah.
Texas has to play Georgia.
But
And
those two don't have to play each other. Sorry, I had a brain fart for
correct.
some reason. But
Correct.
yeah, that's the best case for Ole Miss and Texas is that they don't have to play each other in the regular season.
There you go.
So yeah, I have Georgia at the set.
Okay.
It was your set.
Number 7. I
You
don't
said
know.
you said this is the team I might forget about.
You might forget about.
Okay,
Maybe.
let's see.
Might have them. Notre Dame. I have them as the number 7 seed. I think their schedule is soft as baby shit. Um, they honestly, because they're not in a conference, I don't even have their schedule on there because they're not in a conference.
Yeah,
Their conferences that they don't have a conference. Their schedule is, I mean, very doable. And with Riley Leonard at quarterback, I don't think that Riley Leonard is necessarily better than Sam Hartman. Um, but I do think that he fits that offense a little bit better. They recruit obviously really well. They've hit the transfer portal. They have a soft as baby shit schedule. I don't see how this team doesn't at least go 9-3. I would be shocked if they didn't go like 11-1. I'd be shocked. I will pull up their schedule just for reference right now because I know everybody's dying with anticipation of what Notre Dame's schedule is. So just bear with me for a second.
I have it up.
Do you?
Yeah, if you want me to read it.
All right.
Game 1 is at Texas A&M.
That's probably the toughest game on their schedule. Opening up in College Station first
Yeah.
week.
Yeah, that's
Other than that, home against Northern Illinois, win.
Yeah.
At Purdue, win. Miami, Ohio at home, win. Louisville at home, win. Stanford at home, win. At Georgia Tech, win. At Navy, win. Florida State at home, tough game, but winnable. Virginia at home, win. Army at home, win. At USC, rivalry week.
I'm sorry,
Definitely.
does that say Yankee Stadium?
Yes,
Interesting.
it does. They're playing in Yankee Stadium.
In Yankee Stadium.
It's stupid, but anyway, I think they could go 11-1, and they're going to stay 11-1 because they don't have a conference championship, and that's why they're going to get. I think that's why they're going to get booted down to the 7 because I think the
Strength of
6
schedule.
seeds and the 5 seed are going to lose the conference championship of the 2 bigger conferences of the Big Ten and the SEC. I think those are going to be your 5 and 6 seeds. So, and they don't have a conference. So I think that even if they go 11-1, they're not going to give them the 5 seed because they're like, fuck you, you don't play a conference championship game and you're not in a conference. So that's my 7 seed.
Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish.
That's right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, I didn't really think about it, to be honest, but it happens.
It does happen. I told you. Told you were going to bone.
Always happens till Andre Estime shows up week 1 and just bulldozes against everybody's defense.
That guy was literally a tank.
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't be stopped.
He's back here, right? Is he back?
I believe he is.
Should be. He was only a sophomore last year.
I'm gonna have to check their. Now I got to look at their roster. Go ahead with your 8 seed.
Yeah. So while you do that, I'll go ahead and throw my number 8 out there. I don't know how you feel about this team. I don't really know how I feel about this team. I have the number 8 seed as Penn State University. I've never liked Drew Aller. I've never really liked Penn State, but for some reason with Drew Aller, they always find a way to get in, the top 10 at the end of the year. They have a good returning percentage for both the offense and the defense. Their offense was top 15 last year, and the defense was top 3 last year in the country. Only game I see on their schedule is them losing is against Ohio State. But if they do end up losing to Wisconsin, which might happen as well, they'll be 10-2, which I still feel like they can get in at one of the higher seeds with that record. So I got Penn State at the 8.
I don't mind it.
Don't mind it.
I like your logic, and you'll see why here in a minute, but that's okay. My 8 seed is Alabama. I don't think Alabama's going to miss as much of a step as everybody thinks. I think Kalen DeBoer is a good football coach, and we saw what he's done the past 2 years at Washington. And I would argue that Alabama's talent is probably a little bit better than Washington. And if we saw what he's done with Michael Penix, who at Indiana was probably one of the worst quarterbacks in the country and couldn't stay on the field, he transfers to Washington, and last year he's a top 3 finalist in the Heisman. If he can do that with Jalen Milroe, watch the fuck out. Because Milroe had a couple games down the stretch last year where he was in the running for the Heisman. I mean, everybody was talking about him, especially with that throw in the Iron Bowl to win it. Like, everybody was like, give him the fucking Heisman. Ooh. Obviously, that's social media generated, but like, he didn't play terrible down the stretch. He wasn't good to start, but now with his offense, another year under his belt, another offseason, I think they're going to be just as good. I don't think they're going to miss as much of a step as everybody thinks. I think Alabama's going to be just fine. They're not going to be top 4 seed, but they're going to make the playoff. And I think they know that. I think they have workability with their schedule, knowing that, hey, we can lose 2 games and probably still get in. Because, like, usually if you lose 2 games, you probably ain't in. I mean, think about how many years we've had the top 4 seeds where like, the 3 and the 4 seed both had 2 losses. So it's like now you get 2 losses, you could be an 8 seed, but you're in. So, and if they
Yeah.
get in, they're dangerous. If they get in as an 8 seed and they're like they got decent odds, like they're a dangerous team to make a run.
I like the Tampa Bay the Tampa Bay Rays in the MLB playoffs.
You like the Rays?
No, they just always find a way to get in, and they always cause problems
Oh,
for
I
other
got
teams.
you.
You
Yeah,
know,
no, they do. They really do. And it would be funny because I think personally Alabama would win against the team that I have as the 9 seed, and then it sets up Alabama versus Ohio State in my bracket, which is
that's interesting.
a get your popcorn and kick your feet up game. So
Yeah.
yeah,
So that's
you're
your
9 seed.
my 9 seed. I'm gonna ride the train like everybody else. University of Missouri.
Okay.
There's only one game on the schedule I have no doubt in my mind they're losing, which is Alabama at Alabama. But other than that, they really to me it's kind of like a cupcake schedule through the SEC,
Whoa.
in my opinion. For
They
an
got a road game in South Carolina. What are you talking about?
yeah, that's a good point. I don't know why I didn't take South Carolina as the 1 seed. Honestly, they're going to go 12-0 this year and win the conference.
Lenoris Sellers. Fucking
Norris Sellers is Cam Newton.
Specs is going to get us a top 4 seed.
But yeah, no, Emory, Missouri, yeah, just riding the train. I still think they can finish at 10-2 at worst, I would think. Everyone loves their offensive talent with Brady Cook from last year, and I think they did a better job recruiting this year than they did last year and in recent years as well. It's really just a strength of schedule pick for me. I just feel like they're going to finish, 10-2 at the worst, and they're beginning the year in the top 25 already. So I feel like that kind of helps a lot. So they're not really working to get to one of the lower seeds throughout the year. So Missouri at the 9.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it.
No.
My 9 seed is your 8 seed. I have Penn State.
Okay.
They always find a way to go 10-2. Always.
Mm-hmm.
It's like every year they lose to guess who? Ohio State and Michigan. Every year. It's like, and then every other game they win and they cover the spread. So it's like James Franklin knows what the number is on the spread, and he's like, we're going to beat them by whatever points. We're favored by 17.5. We're going to beat them by 20. Like, I'm not the biggest Drew Aller guy in the world. I just think that if Penn State has any chance of getting into the playoff this year, he has to play much better than he did last year because I don't think their team is as strong this year. Their schedule is okay. I don't hate it. I don't think that they're not going to go undefeated. That's for sure. But like their tough games are at USC, at Wisconsin, obviously playing Ohio State at home. Somehow, by the grace of God, some way they managed to miss Michigan this year. Usually it's always them in Michigan because it was all in divisions and now they don't have them. So they were like, screw it, give them a break. Um, Flying all the way across the country to play USC may not be the best matchup for them. Um, at Wisconsin may be tough, and Ohio State is going to be a tough game that they're going to lose. So could they go 10-2? Yeah, I think so. I think they could go probably 10-2, and 10-2 in the Big Ten is pretty strong, but it's not going to be stronger than Oregon, Ole Miss, Notre Dame, Alabama. Like they're
So
not
on
going
and
to be
so
stronger
forth.
than them. They're not going to be stronger than them. So I would put them at the 9 seed,
At the 9.
and I'm comfortable with that. Your 10 seed.
My 10 seed. Hold on. Fix the fucking headphones. My ears are too big to start to pop out of it. My 10 seed. The University of Utah. kind of just like what you said about Penn State. They always find a way to go 10-2 and end up in at least the top 15. Um, hold on, it's all falling apart. They really only have one or two threats in their schedule, which are Oklahoma State and
UCF
then
and
UCF
Iowa State.
at UCF. That's really the only two that
Iowa State's an underrated game too, but they do get them at home, so I think they should win that one.
Right. Yeah. I feel like UCF just always causes problems for team when they're about to do something great and then they just ruin.
Yeah.
But 10-2 will get you in the playoffs this year, of course. They got a 7th-year quarterback, which always helps, being there's some times where he's 7, 8 years older than the players on the field, and it really does make a difference just having the knowledge of the game.
Yeah.
So Utah at 10.
I don't hate it. So my 10 seed that will be going into Notre Dame to play a playoff game is the Missouri Tigers.
Okay.
Everything that you said about them already is 100% accurate. When I wrote it down, felt queasy because it's Missouri. Missouri has been shit for so long and can never just get over the hump.
No.
When I wrote down their name as the 10 seed, I go back to like 5 years ago when that stupid quarterback from Clemson, Kelly Bryant, transferred there, and everybody thought that they were going to light the world on fire, and they sucked. I liked Missouri last year. I still like them this year, clearly. I don't know why I feel like this is going to come back and bite me in the ass. Probably because of some of the teams that I've not put on this list, which we'll get into when it's over. I'm looking at the list of people that I don't have in here, and I'm like, this for some reason feels like I should have went a different way.
Like
But
honorable mentions.
yeah, right, honorable
Yeah.
mentions. I don't know. I just think their schedule is so favorable. Their toughest game is at Alabama, and that is a tough game. I'm not going to say it's not, but their toughest game is at Alabama. But other than that, their schedule is really manageable. If everybody stays healthy, if Luther Burden's healthy, if Brady Cook's healthy, their team steps up. They got new recruits. They got good transfers. Like Drinkowitz um, he had a great year last year. He needs to build on it this year. I think, I think they can do it. I think they can go 10-2, 9-3, and I think 9-3 in the SEC is going to be good enough to get them in with the schedule that they have.
Yeah.
Your 11 seed.
My 11 seed. I will say about Missouri too. I think they'll get there, but once they're there, they're not moving any further.
Yeah, I mean they could get smacked by Notre Dame,
I
but
feel like they're going to get smacked.
they could get in.
The moment's going to get too big, and they're done for. But anyway, 11 seed. Well, I believe that they're going to put a non-power 4 team in the tournament.
So you think that's not going to be the 12 seed? You think
I don't think so. I think they're going to put them at the 11.
Okay.
The University of Liberty. Like I said, one non-power 4 school has to make it, or if not, there's going to be bloodshed on the streets of America. I feel like this is one of the main reasons they moved it to a 12-team playoff, to give a smaller school a chance at making history. They have a good chance of going undefeated yet again. Did they finish undefeated last year? I know the year 2022 they did.
I believe so.
Okay, well if they went last year,
they were either 12-0 or 11-1.
They lost one or something like that.
Yeah.
They were close last year. 2022 they were for sure. I just didn't look last year.
Yeah, they're very good.
Their toughest game is App State or ECU, one of the other two. But other than that, they're playing teams like Campbell and Middle Tennessee and stuff like that, which they've always cakewalked through. So
Yeah.
I think they're going to go undefeated or 11-1, and they're going to be the best non-power four school out there, and they're going to give them a shot. So other than Notre Dame or whatnot, but I didn't put them on the list.
Yeah, technically they're not Power 4, but they are. But yeah.
Yeah. You're 11.
I like your logic, so I'm just gonna go ahead and spoil it. I had Liberty at the 12.
Okay.
I think Liberty's gonna go undefeated, and then they're gonna run into a buzzsaw known as the Oregon Ducks. So
Quack, quack.
great year, have fun. They're gonna get their shit kicked in.
Yeah.
First game in the playoff. My 11th seed to round out the bracket. We've talked about this team a couple times.
Should I try and guess it?
You can try. Yeah, go ahead. We talked about this team a couple times, and I'm a little bit higher on this team than I feel comfortable with.
Is it? It's an ACC school.
Sure is.
NC State.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's who it is. I don't know why. I love NC State. I think their schedule is so doable. It's actually funny. Like NC State, they've recruited. They hit the transfer portal. They got Grayson McCall. They catch Clemson at a decent time. Clemson coming off a bye could be trouble. But realistically, if they lose to Tennessee at a neutral site and they lose to Clemson on the road, they could win the rest of their games and go 10-2 and be in. I think Clemson's going to lose more games than they are, so I'm not necessarily worried, but I'm a little bit higher on NC State than a lot of people are, and that worries me, but also makes me very excited because maybe I'm the one who found the cheese for once in my life. Um, I like them. There's really nothing else to say. I like them. I like their schedule. I like how they recruited. I like Grayson McCall. Obviously, their coach is very good. And on top of that, I kind of hate Clemson, so it doesn't matter. So that's where I'm going with my 11th seed.
Yeah. So your 11 seed is NC State, and then your 12 seed
My
is
12 is Liberty.
Yeah.
So who is your 12 seed?
My 12 is the University of Alabama.
A 12 seed?
The 12 seed.
You are out of your fucking mind.
They're sneaking in.
Oh,
I'm only putting Liberty at 11 because they're going to go undefeated. Alabama's going to get in at 9-3. I'm calling it right now. Alabama's going to get in at 9-3 and break
9-3 in the SEC will never only be a 12 seed.
Yeah, they're going to. Their schedule isn't okay. I lied. It's pretty bad. But Georgia, Tennessee, and LSU are the three games they're going to lose. Or it's going to be Georgia, Tennessee, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is going to kind of ruin somebody's season.
Nah, they're going to kick Oklahoma's ass. They're probably going to lose to LSU.
Oklahoma is going to beat somebody.
Yeah.
And make it bad. But like you said, their new coach, Kalen DeBoer from Washington, he's coming in. And if you think that he's coming in expecting to go 8-4 or 7-5, you're dead ass wrong. It could happen. It could happen, but you're dead ass wrong if you think he's going to come in and expect an off year from Alabama after filling in Nick Saban's shoes. No. Third in transfer rank, second in recruiting ranking. Jalen Milroe is probably a better starting frame for Mr. DeBoer instead of Michael Penix. I think Jalen Milroe has all around can have more talent. He can throw the ball farther. He looks like a tank at a quarterback position. So if he gets the ball going down the field with his legs, he's going to run some people over. He plays.
Well, and Milroe's got a better body of work to this point as well. So he's got more to work with.
Yes,
for sure.
The only reason that I feel like they're going to go 9-3 is because of this number right here. The defensive production return is 33%. And that's not very good for the University of Bama. That means there's a lot of freshmen coming in. I'm not really sure. They probably got a couple guys from the transfer, but
They definitely did.
it's a new team. You got to learn new scheme and stuff like that. So I think they're going to go 9-3 and still get in at the 12th, or it might flip. 11-12 might flip Liberty Bama, but I think they're just going to sneak in just because it's Alabama football. And I feel like if they don't make the 12 seed playoff the first year it's in, it's a failure for it. So
Can we have a very serious conversation here for a second?
maybe.
Can we just imagine a world where Alabama goes like 7-5 and misses the playoff? Can we just, for a second, can you just imagine that? Like
I'm picturing it.
Like Saban leaves, meaning when they lose one game in the year, they're calling for his head and his job. And they're like, Alabama fucking sucks, because they lost a game by 2 points on the road in Death Valley. And then they go to like 7-5 with Milroe and Kalen DeBoer. Can we just imagine the world that would be if they go on the road at Wisconsin and fucking lose to Georgia, go to Vanderbilt, finally take out some frustration, probably kick the shit out of Carolina, then go to Tennessee and Nico Iamaleava shows them who the fuck a real quarterback is. That's 3 losses. Then you play Missouri at home. Not easy. Bye week, go to Death Valley again, probably a loss. Play Mercer for whatever fucking reason. Then you go to Oklahoma, and if you don't lose that, you got the Iron Bowl. I mean, 8-4 is most certainly on the table and being discussed. Do you agree?
It can happen.
8-4 could very much fucking happen.
I personally,
I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to.
But it's on the table for the first time in a long time. When have we ever come into a fucking season with Alabama thinking, well, this team might go 9-3? Never. 9-3 would be a catastrophic failure. They would be hazing Nick Saban's wife at board meetings if they went 9-3. If this guy comes in here and he doesn't go 10-2 or better, they're gonna kill him for sure.
But I think the expectations are 10-2 from him.
100%, they should be, but that doesn't mean you're gonna go 10-2.
Right.
You can expect to go 10-2 all the fuck you want. I think every coach tries to expect to go 10-2, but
right. But everybody says
A&M. You think A&M's not expecting to go 10-2 as well?
I don't know.
They always expect to go 10-2. LSU. You think LSU's not expecting to go 10-2?
Yeah.
With Brian Kelly and that roster.
But everybody is saying that Alabama's going to have a down year, which they are at 9-3 maybe.
Exactly, a down year at 9-3 is still 9-3 in the SEC. That's pretty damn good.
Right. Yeah. So
yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's going to happen, but man, watching that story unfold this year might be really fun.
Yeah.
Might be really, really fun.
It'll be interesting because I will say too, this is probably kind of a harder schedule that we've seen in the past couple of years for him.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Don't hate it.
All right. Still a little recap.
E-Man.
Me. Ohio State at the 1. Ole Miss at the 2. Florida State at the 3. Oklahoma State at the 4. The Longhorns at 5. Got the Ducks at 6. Them Dogs, they're at 7. Penn State's at 8. Mizzou's at 9. Utah at 10. Liberty Bibberty at 11. And Alabama sneaks in at 12.
My bracket.
I'm confident. That's all I'll say.
I don't hate yours.
We're
gonna get into the teams that I left out here in a second. So that's fun.
The Duke.
Yeah.
Number 1, Ole Miss.
Mhm.
Number 2.
Number 1 is not Ole Miss. It's
Hold
Ohio
on.
State. Are you retarded?
Sorry. What did I do wrong?
I don't know. You put Ole Miss at the 1.
Guys, it's 4 a.m.
It's
Give us
Ohio State. What did I do wrong? Well, you put the entirely wrong team.
Okay, there it is.
There we go.
Ohio State's at the 1.
Correct. Now I gotta
Georgia's,
check you.
yeah, Georgia's at the 2.
Correct.
Oklahoma State's at 3.
Yeah.
Florida State's at 4.
Mhm.
The Ducks are quacking at 5. Ole
Okay.
Miss is at 6. Notre Dame's at 7.
Yeah.
Bama's at 8. Penn State's at 9. Mizzou is at 10. Uh,
Ew.
had to let it out.
Ew.
NC State's at 11. And Liberty Liberty's at 12.
That's it.
That's it.
Love it.
And your pick to win the college football playoffs. 3, 2, 1, go.
I can't do that right now.
Okay.
I cannot do that right now. Some of these teams scare the fucking shit out of me, and it's like, no, I can't do that right now.
Give me
If Dylan Gabriel goes down for Oregon, then
give
I
me
can't pick
give me
Oregon.
1 week.
Give me
Give me
me
1 week of college
give me
football.
give me 6 weeks. We'll do a mid-season report.
Mid-season recap.
Some
Honorable
mentions
mention.
/ omissions.
Omissions. Yeah. I personally, I don't really have any. So
Yeah, you do.
yeah, I mean I do, but I'll see what you say.
My number 1 is your fucking 5 seed, I think. Texas.
Texas.
I
Yeah,
didn't
that's a
put
good point.
Texas
You
in there.
didn't put them in there.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a look at their schedule.
Good to
I
go.
don't. I don't think. I think they lose to Michigan, and it shocks the world. Oklahoma on a neutral site's always tough. I don't think they're going to beat Georgia. I'm sorry. I really don't. They
I'm
could
trying.
lose. They could lose at A&M to end the year. They could have 4 losses. They could be 8-4. As the team that was in the college football playoff last year, they could go 8-4 their first year in the SEC. And honestly, nothing would make me happier in the world. Well, other than what I'll get to later.
Oh,
Nothing could make me happier in the world than them missing the playoff. Nothing.
okay.
Another omission. Utah.
Utah. Yeah.
I'm out on them. I don't think it. I think in 7 years, Cam Rising hasn't had a fucking healthy season. That's why he's been there for 7 years. I don't think it's going to start now as he's
Start
older.
now. Yeah.
He's older. Like I don't think it's going to happen. Kansas State. Don't trust him. Love the coach. Great coach. Don't trust him. Michigan, the defending national champions. Neither of us have Michigan.
I would say that's one of my omissions is Michigan.
That's one that um, could come back and bite us in the ass, but I don't know. Michigan doesn't know who's playing starting quarterback for them right now.
Right.
So I'm a little bit concerned. Last year, at least, or 2 years ago, whenever it was that Harbaugh was there and he had Cade McNamara and JJ McCarthy, and he was like, "We're going to try them both out." That's different than saying, "I don't know who's going to start." Like Alex Orgy's been the guy that's like supposed to be lined up, ready to go, and now all of a sudden it looks like he may not even start. So I don't know who their quarterback's going to be. So I can't put him in there. Um, this one was kind of a little bit of a sleeper for me, but Iowa State I kind of like, and I didn't put them in there. A lot of people were talking about Iowa State, and I kind of like them. I just I just don't think that their schedule is very favorable for them, to be honest. Like after looking at it again and really stepping back and taking the little Cyclones hat off, I don't think that it favors them very much. Um, Nebraska.
Oh,
I know it's the first year for Nebraska.
what year is it? 2005.
I do enjoy the idea of thinking Nebraska will get in there, but they do have a tough schedule. I mean, New quarterback. You got Ohio State on the road. You got USC on the road, Wisconsin at home, and Iowa to end the year. I think they could go 8-4, but 8-4 in the Big Ten is not going to get you in. It's not. Last two are both Tigers.
Hmm.
LSU and Clemson. First of all, fuck Clemson,
Fuck them.
fuck Dabo, and
Fuck them.
fuck his little cult that he's got going on over there. I'm done with it. I got nothing but ill will towards them. I hate everything they got going on. I think Cade Klubnik is not that good. They keep riding this guy's dick, and now college football 25's got them ranked like sixth in offense, which makes no sense because their offense last year was 52nd. So why are they sixth? And they didn't get any transfers. So you're telling me these freshmen that they recruited are just going to turn this offense into a top 5 offense of the country? Why? No thanks. I think their defense will be just fine, but I don't care. I think they're going to lose. They're going to get their brains beat in week 1 by Georgia. When I tell you I cannot fucking wait for that game, I cannot wait for that game. Because all these Clemson little fucks are going to bet on Clemson, and the line's going to move down to like 12.5 Georgia, and I'm going to fucking hammer Georgia. I cannot wait. I may take Georgia's team total over. I may sprinkle Georgia to win by 35 plus. Georgia's going to kick their fucking ass, and I cannot wait. That is going to be a demoralizing loss. You remember 2 years ago when Georgia bent Oregon over and beat them like 52-7? That's what's going to happen. I hate to tell you right now, Kirby Smart is going to kill them in the first game. I'm telling you right now. They're going to lose that game. They're going to lose at Florida State because DJ Uyunglele is going to put his Hawaiian cock on Dabo's forehead. And then at Wake Forest, that's always trouble. No matter how good or bad Wake Forest is, they always give Clemson trouble. I don't know what it is. And same thing when they go on the road at Syracuse. Always gives them trouble.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about that, but it just does. I think that game at Virginia Tech is going to be a loss. I think Virginia Tech's going to be hyped up for that game. It's probably going to be a night game in Blacksburg. That's going to be a tough environment to go to, especially after playing Louisville at home, because Louisville at home is not a for sure thing. And then you got Carolina, which God knows what's going to happen there. If Specs is Cam Newton, maybe they're 10-0, 11-1.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're 11-0 going into the
Yeah.
finale.
We'll see.
Who knows? Maybe Beamer ball works out. I don't know. I don't know. You're the Cock fan, so I don't know why you're not,
I
more
think
optimistic,
I don't know. I'm kind of done with Beamer, but that's for another day.
That's another discussion.
That's for another day.
What if he goes 8-4 this year? You still done?
I would like to see change.
What you guys got to realize, and I talk to Carolina fans that I work with every day. I'm like, well, you guys got to realize that Steve Spurrier ain't walking through that door.
He ain't. No, he's not.
There ain't nobody like Steve Spurrier walking through that door either for South Carolina. Not anymore. Maybe now with NIL, it might bring you back into the fold. But I mean, you got to get some oil money in there or something.
Yeah, honestly, 8-4 with this schedule, I'd be happy with.
I would be probably a loss. LSU probably a loss. Ole Miss loss. At Alabama loss. At Oklahoma you could win, but I don't know. A&M at home. Missouri at home. That's a fucking gauntlet. Jesus.
Yeah, I think everybody would be happy with 8-4.
I think your only guaranteed wins are Old Dominion, Akron, and Wofford.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't think that playing Vanderbilt on the road is a guaranteed win.
Mm-hmm. But like I said, we'll see. We'll see what team shows up this year. We'll see if Lenore Sellers is really him, and Beamer can be for another day. So I have some things to say about him, but nice guy. I love him, but
not a big Beamer guy.
It's just for the team. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't hate it. Since we're talking about this, I want to just kind of throw these out there.
Oh.
There's a to make the playoff bet on FanDuel.
Uh-oh.
Already taken these, so I'm just going to throw them out because it's some of them are not teams that I put on the list. I did the list separate from this. I didn't let this influence the list. I did my just impulse reaction
Yeah.
of the list. These I took not too long ago because I thought that the numbers were pretty decent, and why not? Because like this now looking at it is almost like, well, if I'm wrong on this list, then these should hit. So we'll see. Um, First, I got Alabama plus 120, obviously. LSU plus 125. Florida State plus 160. Missouri plus 180. Clemson plus 200. If I'm wrong about the Colt, I want to at least make money off of them. That's my only logic.
Yeah.
Utah plus 260. If Cam Rising's healthy, they should make it. This one's going to make you cringe a little bit. Iowa plus 650.
Oh my God.
Iowa will be the most boring playoff team in the country. Probably the number 11 seed after going 9-3 with the fucking steel curtain on defense. And they're gonna average scoring about 12.5 points a game. And they're gonna win 9 games. And it's gonna frustrate all of us. And we're all gonna be like, I can't fucking believe Iowa's in it. But guess who's gonna believe Iowa's in it? This guy.
This
Because
guy.
I'm gonna win money on him. And then I got Oklahoma State plus 900. I think them plus 900 to make the playoff is kind of stupid.
Oklahoma State. Yeah, that's actually.
Yeah, that's really stupid. So I took advantage of that already. So that's it. I just wanted to touch on those real quick before I forgot about them.
I think me and you are both riding the Oklahoma State train,
Yeah,
and I like it.
well, no one's really talking about
No
Oklahoma
one's talking
State,
about it.
so
I like it.
no one's
I like
talking about NC State.
You heard it here first.
You did. You heard it here first. Make sure you mark this day in history. July 5th. Jesus, I had to think about that. July 5th. It's so I'm exhausted. I'm so tired.
Yeah.
And I have to go to work again I have to leave in 2 hours.
Another day in paradise.
Contemplating getting a double shot of espresso this morning and some munchkins. Like that's
Hell
that
yeah.
kind of day that I'm feeling.
Hell yeah.
Tell you what, I am golfing tomorrow, and this is how you can tell I'm old. Just quick little story. I'm getting old because when my new fiance's brother and sister were in, or not brother and sister, brother and his fiance were in town. Weird dynamic if they were brother and sister. When they were in town, we played pool volleyball, and I shit you not, this shoulder has been real tight for like over a week. And I don't know how the golf game's going to go. I'm going to need to do some dry swings in the living room.
Just put some
today.
WD-40 on that thing. It'll be all right.
I'm going to need to do some dry swings outside and make sure I can still fucking swing.
Function.
Because
Yes.
if I get out there and pay the $40 and can't swing, I'm going to be very upset. So I'm going to need to figure that out today for sure. But
Yeah.
you can tell it. I woke up the next day after that day, and my kneecaps were on fire, and both of my shoulders hurt, and my lower back hurt. And it's not like I played beach volleyball and I was running and laying out and doing all that shit. Pool volleyball,
Just chilling.
jumping in the water. That's it.
That's it.
My body's broken. I'm old. I can't do it. I can't keep up. I'm gonna have to get in better shape before I start having kids. Christ. It's like I'm hurting bad. But anyway.
Anywho, good day. Good morning.
Not this Monday, but next Monday is the
Oh my god.
the beginning of the rest of our lives.
Oh my gosh. Dude.
It's coming. It is
It's
here.
coming.
It's coming.
I'm coming.
I was gonna say it's coming, and then we will be coming. It's almost here. Just gotta do one more work week, and then we're done.
And then it's back.
And what's good is that next week I work on Saturday.
So the week
that it comes
after,
out, I have
don't
a
work
whole weekend off, and it's
yay.
fucking sweet.
My girlfriend's gonna be mad, but that's okay. She doesn't understand.
She'll understand. I told my fiance the other day. I said, "Don't Don't disturb me. This
Don't
time.
talk to me. I
Like
will
we're
not
not.
be home.
We're gonna stack up watching shows this week because we ain't watching shows that week. I can guarantee you that. When
Yes,
you come home, you're gonna say hey, and then
keep going.
later, I'll be stiff arming people in the dirt and probably punching holes in walls. I'm gonna get very aggressive. Get out.
Sleep deprivation will be a real thing that week.
Oh yeah, for sure. Especially if we're doing this fucking thing. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
yeah. Like stay up till 12, wake up at 3. Yeah, sweet, awesome,
It's fun.
great.
No
Sounds awesome.
place I'd rather be.
I can't wait to shotgun an energy drink every morning. Ugh. Anyway,
Anywho, it's good.
that was good.
It's good.
Got the blood flowing a little bit.
Got the blood flowing. It's days like today that make me excited for college.
College football.
So,
Before we go, I don't know if you want to click on that little AFC thing down there, but I've started working on something.
oh no. Quick glance. Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something.
Wait, we're almost there.
Just
We're
a
almost
little,
there.
just a little teaser. My team's the Jets. Clearly, the first 3 weeks, I just want you to, I want to say it, and then you internalize it and do not respond. Okay.
Okay.
The first 3 weeks of the season, we play 3 NFL football games in 10 days. That's it. One of which is Monday Night Football on the road at the San Francisco fucking 49ers. That's it.
That's it. That's all. That's it.
We go Monday, Sunday, Thursday Night Football. 10 days. 3 games. How many injuries? Over under 17 and a half.
I'm picking under on 17 and a half.
I'm so fucking mad. When I was typing that out yesterday, I was like, there's no way this is true. But anyway,
Trash sharks going ham.
I'm going to stay right here and just be really depressed about that again because I was trying not to think about it, but then I told you to click on it and now it came back. So it's my fault.
It's your fault. You
Yeah.
did this to yourself.
So now I have to sit here and look at the ceiling for like an hour.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Well,
We'll be okay.
everybody have a great weekend. We'll be back on Monday, right?
Yeah, we should be back on Monday.
We should be back on Monday. What are we, week 0? Week 0, week 1?
Well, we still got some conference champions to.
No, we did
Touch
all
on.
conference.
Did we do the Big 12?
Yeah.
We did?
Yeah.
I'm retarded. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Week
Then
0,
we'll do
week
week
1?
0. And I may work on the NFL stuff between now and then, so
Ooh, we will
we'll
see.
see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do week 0, week 1, and
Week 0, week 1 picks for each
talk
other.
a little bit about golf. Talk about some week 0, week 1 trends, and get into all that shit. We're almost there, man.
Can't wait.
We're almost there. It's been
Can't
a
wait to
long
lose
time.
like $3,000.
Well, I can't wait to win like 2.5 mil. So it's gonna be crazy. Can't wait.
Yes.
Can't wait.
Can't wait. But it'll have to wait till Monday. So
Yep. Well, have a good weekend.
have a good weekend.
I gotta go make sure I can swing a golf club because that's really what I'm looking forward to. I gotta make sure I can do that.
All
Till
right.
next time. Later.
Oh, that'll take 30 years to upload, but that's fine.
That's okay.
It's okay.
Just make sure you delete up until this part and then also until this part.
Yeah.
I'll give you a signal.
I'll give you a fucking signal.
Here's your fucking signal. I really do need to make sure I can swing a club. I didn't think about that. I moved my shoulder and like I felt it and I'm like, uh-oh.
Like, not again.
I'm gonna have to tell Will, like, hey, look,
Hey, buddy. So
here's the thing, I'm out. Can't move my arm. I think I tore my fucking rotator cuff from my left side. Again. On my other side. It's really like kind of in my neck. It's like right here.
let's see that chiropractor.
Oh God Almighty!
Oh,
I go see a chiropractor. It'd be fucking dead to the world. All right. Well, have a good week.
Whenever it comes out, and I'll let you know, and then you got to put it on Twitter. Okay.
Fuck you.
Negaboo,
Sure.
Jigaboo.
Sure.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car.
That's all you need to know.
I'm gonna start ending conversations with that.
Just remember,
Just always remember.
Rosa Parks' husband had a car.
And she still could. That bitch knew her place.
She
All
did. Later.
Bye.